Froby College Students Union in our studio too, Augustine Bona. Good morning and welcome, Augustine.
Good morning, Samuel. Thanks.
All right, we're going to be capturing for breath just because we're running out of time. Now, how much of an elation do you feel as a student union government the fact that the administration has brought back to students the accommodation facility?
Well, I think for students, it's one of the best news we've ever had. Right. And it's one of the best fights we've ever fought, because this wasn't just an administrative something. It was as well as a result of the persistent pressure from the students that, yes, we are constrained when it comes to transportation, and these are places that we, the students, should use. In fact, for us to have a complete campus, we must be able to make use of the hostels because it has a special and a unique life that it gives to the students. So at the end of the day, we did not just pressure them for them to give us the hostels. We had to work with them hand in hand through thick and thin for us to reach up to the stage. And now that we're here, I think the students are very much happy.
Now, Dr. Musa has explained certain processes and procedures students would need to go through in order to access the hostel facilities. Now, are you satisfied with what the university administration has put in place, and do you, in fact, trust the process?
I truly want to consider this year as, well, an year that we want to test what's the students, how the students would conduct themselves and how the rules and regulations would work best for the students. I mean, I wouldn't deny it. We have been part of the process altogether. In fact, the rules and regulations that are now in almost the completion form, we are part of it. We contributed to it. We ask other students to actually see and provide recommendations as to how we want the regulations documents to be. So I think we're satisfied, although there are a few things that we're working behind the scenes to get done in the interest of the student. But for now, I think we are making progress.
So what are some of those things?
Well, firstly, students are still constrained when it comes to the fees. But then, because of the kind of facility we want SEM could to and I think it's only reasonable that we pay that fees for now. Once we get the meters installed in a different room, we could come back to a reasonable fee that students could pay at the end of the day.
All right. The other question we've asked here is, you know, who takes responsibility for damages which might occur during, let's say, protests or strike actions which are put up by students? And Dr. Musa has made it clear that the university administration would be solely responsible for that, and that includes students as well. So, number one, what is the conversation you've had with your fellow students as to how they conduct themselves during protests or when they feel aggrieved? And do they know that they would also bear responsibility if they damage any of the facilities provided by the University of Sierra Leone?
So currently we are trying the best we can to reach out to every other student on campus, face-to-face, social media, and even what we're doing. So I want to personally get the students reminded of the fact that we were taken off the hostels, we were evicted from the hostels because of a riotous conduct, because we couldn't conduct ourselves in a way that the college administration could trust that, yes, we would maintain the facilities in there and then transfer them to generations behind us. I have spent time, even during my campaign before elections, telling students that we need to veer from the old ways. We cannot continue to act in such a way. But then quite aside from that, I think we have regulations now. And what we are going to do as a student union body is to get our fellow students reminded of the letters of these rules and regulations. So if they get to understand it and they know the repercussions that flow should they breach any part of that rules and regulation, then obviously it becomes a responsibility that they would have to take at the end of the day. But then I'm happy the college administration and SEMCO also put in mechanisms in place just so something happens that they would have to take responsibility for it equally, because it's not all the time you get students on the wrongs. The administration or some inevitable things also could happen.
All right. It's moving up to 9 o'clock now. Thank you for joining us. We